I don't know. I'm going to let you go. I mean, live with
your feelings are pretty clear.
Hey, we're going to live with the results. What's going to happen?
I mean, live with the results, Brew, is something LeBron's been saying since you were going to his practices his third year in the league in Cleveland. I happen to think it was a perfect answer.
Perfect answer.
Yeah, I think it's exactly the type of answer you would want. Not giving bulletin board material and not adding extra pressure to your teammates, who a guy like D'Angelo Russell, it could have real impact on. I'm not picking on D'Angelo, but just because he had such a rough series. Wilds, on the other hand, cackled about it on the morning call, and now, I mean, go.
So your response is already etched in stone. So I will try to convince Brew, because I think you are unconvincible, considering yesterday you tried to make me shave my head because you ran out of statistical reasons.
No, that's not. I just thought it would be a fun gag.
So I'll try to convince you, Brew.
All right.
So here's my real question. What changed? What changed from how the Lakers were talking after the championship to what happened now that they have a chance to have their revenge? Because we saw in the parade, Mike Malone referred to as the Lakers' daddy. Nobody liked that. Then Mike Malone mocked LeBron's flirtation with retirement.
Yeah.
And LeBron went on his Instagram and responded with this. He's been in Europe for the past few days, so it didn't really hit his radar. But wave the flag on these lames. Please make being player cool again. Because the lame machine is at an all-time high. Enjoy your light, but just know I'm the sun I stay on forever. So it did bother him this summer when he was in Europe. Now, did it bother Darvin Ham? Well, yeah. Because he went on a podcast with Chris Haynes and said, this was the headline, Lakers Ham sends warning to Nuggets Malone. This blank ain't over. Okay. Then in media day, Anthony Davis weighs in, and it's been on his mind. It was just a lot of talking. The Lakers' daddy, there was just so much of that going on. It was like, all right, we got it. Y'all won. But me and Bron had some conversations like, we can't wait, bro. And then what happened? Game one that I called a must-win, they lost by 12. Then they went home and lost by 8, even though AD had a good game at 32 points. Then they lost by 10 at home. And like, you know what? We've lost 8 in a row of these things. And how is it? Because we always know the story. It's like, well, the Lakers are great when AD and LeBron are there and when they're on the court, but when they're off the court, that's when things get tricky, and it's Rob Pelinka's fault. Not necessarily. When LeBron and AD are on the court, they're ±9. The defensive rating is a whopping 124. Second chance points, -23. Points in the paint, they just can't stop them. Nuggets are shooting 56% and shooting 38% from 3. So to me, when I look at this, in this response, where I've seen LeBron be very, very caustic to teams to get them fired up, looks to me like, Brew, they went pure Tin Man mode. No heart.
What?
All right. I'm going to let, Brew and Nick Wright give their replies, but I just wanted to point out that was awesome. Kudos to either First Things First as a whole or Wilds or whoever was the motivating factor to completely call out LeBron James. Because they don't do that often. None of these shows do. LeBron James is absolutely gaslighting and straight up lying to everyone, saying this shouldn't be personal at all. And then Wilds just completely outlined why it is, how much, nonsense that is, as the cool kids say, capping. And it was just like, it's exactly like there's obviously that back and forth. LeBron talking about I'm the son, I'm on all the time, and the daddy and AD and LeBron having these conversations, all of this. Of course it's personal. Of course. And no, and don't give me this nonsense, because I already hear some of the comebacks of being like, LeBron's so amazing, he doesn't care about this type of stuff. Of course he does. Anyone who's ever played competitive sports, a team just needs to beat you once. All they do is need to beat you one time, let alone a series in the Western Conference Finals or an NBA Finals, for you to want revenge, for you to want to come back and beat them. So it's just, all they do is got to beat you one time and it becomes your enemy. Think about it from from you as just a fan, if you are a fan, and you haven't played sports competitively. You know what it's like. How, you're rooting for your team, you love them, and then you get knocked out by the playoffs by some team that you didn't necessarily have strong feelings one way or the other. I'm sure for much of your life, if you're a Lakers fan, you probably never really cared about the Nuggets that much. It was like, the Nuggets, whatever. They've never really rented that much space in your mind. And now they beat you. You automatically hate the Nuggets. You're like, oh God, I can't wait. We got to beat them. You hate them. The players feel that times 1,000. Okay? Because not to mention, which I do believe that it was all a bunch of nonsense when LeBron was talking about retirement. Let's just say that it's true. Let's say LeBron is telling the truth that he was considering retirement. Well, then the Denver Nuggets did that to you. They swept you and made you contemplate retirement. That's like the ultimate hammer drop then. And if he's lying about that, well, then he's lying about this. Once a liar, always a liar.
Wow.
Pure Tin Man, just out
So
here.
you're, because what'd you say right before we took the air that you were going to convince Brew?
Yeah.
That
Okay.
Wait, he's not done. Convince them. You said you were going to convince Brew of what?
They know the series is over.
That they know they can't win.
Even Darvin
That they
Ham saying
know
we're
they
not going to
can't
duck
win.
any. His big motivational speech after the Pelicans game was, "Hey, it's 0-0.
Yeah.
It's 0-0 now. Woo! Let's go." So, Brew.
All right.
Yeah.
I
just
am
fired up.
betwixt in between. I guess I'm the one that's settling the debate.
Well, I haven't even stated
but
my
you're
case.
clearly heavy Lakers, and you are clearly heavy.
And that was well laid out.
All right. That was you did a good job. I'm gonna be honest.
You did a great job.
I wish one of the reporters there, and I'm not trying to rip them, had said something like, well, LeBron, you posted this, or
Yeah.
AD said you guys talked. Like, I wish somebody had brought that up, because that would have been a good challenge to what LeBron said. So you did a good job.
They never challenged
But
LeBron.
Nick is right that LeBron said exactly what you're supposed to be. In light of, even with all that Michael Malone has said, even with all the talk from the Lakers, even, in the previous months, LeBron is exactly right when he says, if you take it personal, you can get outside of your game plan. Whether it's basketball or boxing, boxers know, right?
I've got a
Don't go
boxing
out there
analogy
emotionally
here.
and then just start slugging.
You know that's nonsense because just last playoffs, LeBron got all emotional with the Memphis Grizzlies and was talking all that trash and all that type of stuff. So cut that. I understand that it's the appropriate thing to say publicly, which I do agree with, but to act like that there's not this emotional aspect of it is just not accurate.
Because that's when you get nailed. Stick to the game plan. Don't make it personal. The last time LeBron, I think, made something personal and let his emotions, his feelings get to him and be led by that was Dallas in 2011.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened. And since then, I
it was
think
against
just one of the
Memphis
things
Grizzlies
he's learned
last
is,
season.
look, no matter what's said, no matter how I might really
Or
feel,
the season before, whatever.
I got to go out there and stick to the game. If he went out there and was like, you know what, I'm tired. Everybody thinks Jokic is the best player in the world. Look at my numbers at 39. Look, I'm going out there. I'm going to out triple-double Jokic. Guess what? Maybe he'd play well personally, but it would take them out of their game plan. So I think LeBron is right in this regard.
So I'm going to, there's another element to it that you're totally overlooking.
Let's hear it.
They could have avoided the matchup. If they were convinced they can't win, they could have avoided the matchup. And they could have avoided it.
Well, that would put him at risk. You got to admit
right,
that.
but why else? Hold on. Wait a moment. Let's just follow the logical tree, and then I'll give my actual answer. What you're saying would put them at risk of missing the playoffs, while just saying they have already conceded that their ceiling is out in round one, that their ceiling is losing in round one. So if they truly believed that, would you rather risk missing the tournament and then have a chance at a long run versus get in the tournament and just have the same team beat you? But here's why I go ahead, Brew.
Well, I just want to know quickly, because I know your time to go. Are you really saying more so they're scared? They know they can't beat this team. Not that they know they've conceded.
They know they. It reminded me of, and LeBron. What makes him so fascinating is he sort of wears his heart on his sleeve. You can read him. After J.R. Smith had the boneheaded play in the finals, and LeBron goes to the bench.
Yeah.
And he's like, "That was it.
Yep.
We had. I could have seen a path where we could have won if things broke differently, but that's it. He's going to play his heart out and play as hard as he can.
Might be another time he learned, you know what, let me keep my emotions out.
Maybe, but I think he knows.
So
This
is where I think, and I think I might convince you a bit, not that the Lakers can win, but that you're misreading LeBron.
Okay.
Too many rivals. This is where LeBron being in year 21 has to be the context of this. Chauncey's Pistons were the rivals, the first one.
Sure.
Knocked him out of his first playoffs. Then he outlasted them, of course, and beat them twice. Then it was the Celtics' big three.
Yeah.
They beat him in back-to-back years. Then he beat them in back-to-back years, and they broke up. Then it was going to be the OKC Big Three. They played once, and that group never played together again. Then it was going to be Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah and no one vacations in Cleveland. They broke up. Then Paul George dunked on him, and since then he's been on 3 different teams. Then it was the Big Three Spurs, who had beaten him in his first finals. Then he beat them, then they beat them. Then they broke up and all retired. Then briefly, he was even an underdog in a series against the Lowry DeRozan 1-seed Raptors. And then DeRozan went to the microphone and said, I don't know what you want me to do. They have LeBron James, we don't, and they broke up. In the midst of all of it, it was Steph, Clay, Golden State, right? Which they played 3 series together when it was Steph and Clay, not Durant. Right. That was 2-1 LeBron. We think they're breaking up. And now it's Jokic's Nuggets.
Yeah.
So there is an element of, Brew, who was Muhammad Ali's rival? Well, it depends. Because it was Sonny Liston, then it was Jerry Quarry, then it was Joe Frazier, then it was Ken Norton, then it was Leon Spinks, and at the end it was Larry Holmes.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think Denver necessarily views them as their rival.
Well,
it's more akin to like it's not a rivalry.
Okay, well then
we always lose.
Except here's the thing, Wilds. Denver and the Lakers both have something very in common. The only reason LeBron with the Lakers and Jokic with the Nuggets don't have 2 championships is because of the other guy. They both would have gone and played the Miami Heat. They both beat the Miami Heat. And so I don't, you can say it's not a rival. The only way you can make that argument is if it's Denver has no rivals. Denver has ascended above rivalry. I don't think you get to claim that after one.
LeBron, that Denver views the Lakers as a rival?
I know that Jokic said it was their toughest series. I know that Jokic and Murray know when they've been together, they've only, as fully formed with Jokic as an MVP level player, they've only lost 1 series ever. It was to these guys. I know that Mike Malone and the Nuggets PA announcers, did they beat the Lakers in the championship? Who did they beat for the championship? The Miami Heat? Who were they celebrating at the parade beating?
That was a more...
But that's because it's LeBron James. That's just because of the weight LeBron James holds. And so when LeBron James is talking about being the son, when you beat him, that is what you're going to be like. That's right. We beat you. We beat you. We beat you. We beat you. So that's where that kind of comes from. So what Nick is arguing is just kind of silly to me because, listen, it all depends on how you want to define rivalry. You're going to start to split hairs, quite honestly. And I would say that I think with LeBron James being who he is, everybody always wants to beat him. Everyone kind of always has a mild rivalry or takes great pleasure in beating LeBron James and in knocking him out because everyone talks about how amazing he is, how much he's the king, he's the son, he's this, and this, and this. But it's not a rivalry in like that traditional sense where like, Golden State Warriors and, LeBron James and the Cavaliers had a rivalry, right? Because they beat them and then they lost and then they beat them again. And he was wrong because he said 2-1 LeBron and it's 2-1 Warriors. I don't know what he's talking about. And so to me, that was the last like true rivalry where you also felt that the other team truly had a chance to a degree, which, obviously the Lakers did in the first two, specifically the first 2 finals, not the third one. And so I just think that, this whole kind of back and forth of trying to figure out like what's a rivalry, what's not. And well, look what Denver, look how much they were celebrating that they beat the Lakers. That's because it's the Lakers who are the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's LeBron James who is the LeBron James, and then they beat the lowly Miami Heat with that, like, again, majority of people don't even know who was on that team. Jimmy Butler's not LeBron James. So I'm just not really getting Nick Wright's whole argument. I mean, LeBron James holds so much weight in not only the current NBA, but just NBA historically as a whole. So beating him is going to be a lot more of a bigger impact. But it's a weird argument that Nick is trying to lay out. I really don't even get it.
More about the media.
Okay, well,
and the Lakers' mystique.
Okay, whatever it is,
my
point is this. I don't think you ascend past rivalry but when you only have one championship. I think if they win this, you can say they don't have a rival. That's fine. I think Boston's right now, we're the favorites, but you can't call them rivals because they've never played yet, right? So I think there's an element of, I don't think LeBron is scared. He might understand they're underdogs.
Scared. I'm saying the energy changed from post-championship in
right
1 year.
No, but I guess my point would be this. Do you think Joe Burrow, if he's about to play the Chiefs in the AFC title game this year, is going to, in front of the media, say we're built to beat them? Or do you think he is going to be totally even-keeled about it? Because I think he'll be even-keeled. I think responding in the offseason to non-basketball stuff, which is what they were responding to, that is totally different than the days before a series, adding to the fuel to the fire. I think that's
a fair point.
What's happening.
I think that what you said is great. LeBron is Joe Burrow and Joker is Mahomes.
Right now, yes.
That's what you said.
But
I
hold
said
on.
that the other day. You lit me up.
But what did you say?
I said the Nuggets are Mahomes. The Nuggets are the Chiefs.
No, the Nuggets can become the Chiefs by winning this year.
Yeah,
they're not there
yet. The only thing I disagree with you on, Nick, is I don't think the Lakers are the Nuggets' rival.
So they don't have one?
Not right now.
That's fine. Okay, that's fair.
Because that was years ago when they played in the bubble. I mean, I don't think they have a rival, but everything.
Yeah, it's not a rival. It's just everybody wants to beat up LeBron. So it's not a rival. The Denver Nuggets aren't thinking about the Lakers throughout the season or thinking we got to go through the Lakers to win this. That's not what I think is on their mind. If anything, they're a little bit like, I don't want to say jealous or envious of the Lakers or specifically LeBron because this is what they kind of essentially said is like everyone's just talking about LeBron and the Lakers and we're the one that won the championship. So it's a little bit more of like that, like, why are you putting so much attention on them? Which I agree with. The last point that I'll say is the focus on LeBron is exhausting. And I'm probably going to say this in a couple more videos because it's exhausting to me. Watching the New Orleans Pelicans versus the Lakers, listening to Reggie Miller and company just they said that LeBron James is in his 21st season and in his, his 39 years old. They said that probably no less than 789 times. I mean, it was just so absurd. Let it go. We understand he's old. We understand he's amazing and incredible. To keep saying that again and again and again and again, it's exhausting. Talk about other players. Talk about other, moments within the game. Talk about just LeBron being great without reminding us every 5 seconds his age. I don't care. I do not care. Let it go. They just love to just repeat it again and again and again and again. And it's just annoying. I mean, it really, really is. I'm trying to think of someone who's like, one of my favorite players. Steph Curry, I absolutely love. One of my favorite players of all time, no question. And if they just kept saying throughout the game again and again and again and again and again, it's just exhausting. I don't want to hear it. And it's about a player who I love. So it's not even about, me being like a LeBron hater, which I'm not. I love being able to grow up watching LeBron. Are you kidding me? If LeBron wasn't in the league, the NBA would be suffering greatly. And so I love having him in the NBA, and I love, everything he's done, and all of the content and entertainment that he has given. But it's just exhausting. They do this all the time. They do this with Mahomes, Brady. They do it with all the greats, quite honestly. Whether they're super old or not, it's just they just lean in on it again and again and again. If you're watching that, you would think that no one else is playing except for LeBron James, and it's just obnoxious. It really, really is. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Do you think LeBron, is being accurate when he's saying it shouldn't be personal at all? Or do you think he's lying? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.